Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So last week we had the epic standoff for about 4 days in the new United States Congress, where many Republicans on the Freedom Caucus or America First side decided to take a stand and oppose Kevin McCarthy until Kevin McCarthy decided to agree to a long list of demands. And those demands ranged from things such as bringing certain issues to the forefront, like the border and term limits, to also how certain candidates are going to be funded moving forward ahead of 2024 in terms of McCarthy staying out of open primaries, which was one of his biggest blunders in the 2022 cycle and kind of exposed him for the establishment hack that he is. And also it brought forth the committee issue as well, because you had a lot of RINOs or weak Republicans or neocons that were poised to take control of certain committees, and that is not exactly going to happen. Now there were a long list of demands, and basically McCarthy is a sino. He is a speaker in name only. And the inmates are running the prison, so to speak, and that is a very good thing because they're more competent than the current political establishment. It is the people's house yet again, one could say, or at least the most like a people's house that it could be in this current day and age under a technically speaker, McCarthy, who's basically a figurehead. Honestly, if the demands are upheld, which many of them will be written into the new rules package, it does seem as if this would be probably a net positive over them picking some compromise option like a Steve Scalise, for example, who was floated as a name for somebody who could be a compromise pick if McCarthy was not able to get in. And you had people like Matt Gaetz and Paul Gosar, who were just ready to stand their ground for weeks and months on end. But these were demands that McCarthy just gave into. Democrats were not too happy. Some members of the Republican establishment, including Dan Crenshaw, were not too happy as well. But the long list of demands is also leading to people like Dan Crenshaw losing their races for committee chairs, and this is epic. And we're going to dive into what this means and why this is so important and why this is such a white pill or something that is positive, and basically what has been a couple of months of darkness or black pills, so to speak, within right-wing politics. But first, I have to tell you guys about our good friends over at Noble Gold. Noble Gold Investments is pleased to let you know that gold was the best investment class for 2022. According to longtermtrends.net, gold actually outperformed the S&P 500, Dow, and Bitcoin in 2022. So what are you waiting for this year? Open up a gold IRA or silver IRA with Noble Gold Investments this month and receive a free quarter-ounce American Gold Eagle coin with every qualified IRA of $50,000. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold Investments and their thousands of 5-star reviews. So, Mark Green, a member of the Freedom Caucus, very decent on the issue of immigration. He has 100% from FAIR. His grade from Numbers USA isn't necessarily that far off from there. And he defeated Dan Crenshaw, who is one of the, neocon rising stars within the Republican Party. He lost to Mark Green in his race to chair the Homeland Security Committee. It apparently looked like, Dan Crenshaw was going to be a shoo-in for this position, one where he probably would be very weak at this position, but Mark Green has won it. He has promised to keep the weak Secretary of Homeland Security in the Biden administration accountable as much as possible. And this is true, and this is very good, and we see this right here. And it just shows how the momentum has shifted within Congress because you had the standoff, because you had these holdouts who made sure that Kevin McCarthy caved into their demands. They took a stand for something, and now we're going to see these small victories start to add up in the United States Congress. And this is arguably a big one because Dan Crenshaw could have been a very powerful congressman, but now he has lost that option to lead that coveted gavel for the House committee to an America First congressman from Tennessee who is a part of that Freedom Caucus, the caucus of holdouts, and you absolutely love to see it. And the former representative decided to give his support to Green. It shows where the momentum truly is shifting within Congress, where the center of gravity is going. Dan Crenshaw is somebody who is very weak, and it's long been known that he's trying to score political points with the left. We saw this initially. He was being touted as this rising star. He got to go on SNL and be friendly with Pete Davidson. He got to get apologized to. Why did that exactly happen? I wonder why. Because he serves the establishment. He serves the uniparty. He grifted his way throughout the primary into power. He said he would be this, independent, America First conservative. He's been nothing of the sort. He's been arguably one of the most pro-interventionist members of Congress. He's pro-red flag laws, very weak on the issue of immigration. If anything, he wants to increase the number of migrants that are going to enter this country. We know he's also had many other slip-ups verbally. He called Jesus a fictional character and a hero archetype, and most recently, he equated the Freedom Caucus to terrorists because they wanted demands. He said, we cannot let the terrorists win. And then he said, behind closed doors, tell us what you actually want or shut the F up. He's using expletives at the people that actually want change in Congress and actually got change because they did tell them what they wanted to, and they caved to these people. And Crenshaw is not very happy about that because the center of gravity in Congress is shifting. Crenshaw is basically losing his grip on power. Why would he be happy about it? Again, this is somebody that has consistently advocated for intervention in every single opportunity that he's had. He's gone out there. All he does is punch right at the Freedom Caucus, at America First conservatives, and now he lost. And now he's going to get even more angry, I'm sure. And he did walk back the remark. We know he issued a half-hearted apologize and said, oh, sorry if you were offended by it or whatever. But we understand that that's all for show. We understand what he truly stands for. He is a staunch interventionist. The Freedom Caucus rose up in 2010 out of the Tea Party wave. They weren't exactly all perfect ideologically. Some of them have actually defected and become total RINOs or even left the party, like Justin Amash, but a lot of them also are like Andy Biggs. You have Paul Gosar, Matt Gaetz, etc. And now they have more power. This is a good thing, I think. And I'm not happy with Kevin McCarthy being speaker. But now you look at the rules and what you see here, it allows for a single lawmaker to make a motion to elect a new speaker, returning to the way the House used to run before Nancy Pelosi basically eliminated that practice and got rid of it. I think it was called the Jeffersonian motion. There's going to be a vote on term limits. They're doing some budgetary stuff, which again, there are arguments in favor of those, but in terms of term limits, I think getting big money out of politics is the number one problem in terms of curbing corruption in Congress rather than the amount of terms that somebody can spend in Congress. Because, yeah, I think somebody like Paul Gosar or Andy Biggs should be allowed to serve in Congress for decades upon decades on end if they're actually doing a good job representing the will of the people, etc. But again, if you can't primary somebody in a primary that's been there for a long time because they have all the money and they're doing a bad job and the grassroots does not like them, well, at that point, that's more of a problem than necessarily term limits, where the same money is going to be used to fund a replacement for these people that is the same and cut from the same cloth. Furthermore, they go on to talk about other investigations and talk about how they're going to get rid of these omnibus bills and they're going to be passing things more transparently, which is also a very good thing. They're also going to be targeting these three-letter agencies as well. One of the first bills that McCarthy decided to say that would be put up this Congress now is the motion to get rid of all the thousands of armed IRS agents that the Biden administration had signed into law. And so that is a step in the right direction, although keep in mind that it could very well be performative to a certain degree, because it's not like a lot of these bills are going to be passed through the Senate, which is controlled by Democrats still, and it's not like they're going to pass on Biden's desk either, or that they have enough power in Congress to really override any vetoes. So obviously it could be performative, but it's still a step in the right direction. And if he doesn't honor these things going into 2024, more people are going to defect, in my opinion. There's going to be even a greater rift, and McCarthy is not going to be able to become speaker. So he's on thin ice. So at least he gets to shift the Overton window to a certain degree in Congress, even if it is performative. I guess that's a good thing. Still don't trust the guy, but because he's basically a speaker in name only, he still gets the gavel, but it's all for show, and the Freedom Caucus basically is running Congress. That's a good thing. That's why you're looking and you're seeing a lot of these committees starting to be led by actual conservatives and not these establishment conservatives who consistently cave and are consistently weak on the issues and have been holding actual conservatism back in this country for decades upon decades on end. So that's a good thing. Mark Green defeated Dan Eye Patch McCain Crenshaw. I believe that's what Tucker Carlson called him. And it's very true. He's basically the same old policies, brand new face, brand new shtick. And it's time really for Crenshaw to get primaried in 2024. He didn't really have a challenger in 2022. I would like to see him be primaried now, but either way, he's losing power, which is a very good thing. And that Freedom Caucus, the people that held the line against McCarthy to get those demands, they're actually getting the positions of power in Congress, and that is a very good thing. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.